Alright, we're starting a new recording. I promise I'm going to make this a lot shorter than my last one. It was about an hour for the last one. We are going to be trying out Alma, Missouri. It's a place that was recommended to me from somebody from work. It's one of the maps that is based off a real town in Missouri. So we're going to try it out. We're going to start out minimum. Hopefully I get this right. I believe it's a farm manager. We're going to start out with a minimal amount of $500,000. No loan, normal economic difficulty. We're going to start with a farm, and we're not going to do a guided tour. This is all of my downloadable content that I have. If you see the second one at the top is Alma, Missouri. I just downloaded that one recently. So let's go ahead and start. Again, I'm not sure how loud that music is right now, but I can't really hear myself. So with this one, we're going to start out, of course, with myself, confirm that. And we're going to look at our farm. Start out with this nice red house. Not really my favorite color. Swimming pool in the front yard. That makes a lot of sense. Swing. This is where we take a quick nap. For advanced time till the next day. One of the things you got to look at, we'll check out the area where you change your clothes here real quick. Put on different hats. Like I said in the last video, the hat gives me hair, so I'm going to keep that on. One of the things we want to immediately change is in settings. I changed down my time scale for this one to real time. We'll change that later. Everything's still normal, traffic on, but the main thing that I like dealing with is days per month. When you start off, it's going to be 1 day per month, which means that you only have 1 day, and if your crops are ready to harvest, you have 1 day to do it. If you were to wait till tomorrow or go to sleep, your crops may be wilted depending on the season. Right now, I believe it's August. Now, I've tried snow before. There was a glitch in it. Hopefully they fixed it with the last update, but I wasn't able to see that they have. I just go through some of these things that you do and don't like. I try to keep it as realistic as possible, but there are some aspects of the game that don't make it relaxing anymore, so I try to stay away from those. So let's go back, do a tour of this new map in Alma, Missouri. First thing we come to, of course, is our chickens. So when you start with as a farm manager, I think it was farm manager, and a start farm, you already have these things. I tried to start it previously where I was start farm no, and it was empty land, and I had left myself with maybe $250,000 at that time, which makes no sense. So let's see how many chickens we have here. We have 90 chickens. We have 40 baby chickens, 40 9 6-month chickens and 1 rooster. And this is the area that you would just dump your food. The food can be purchased and dropped off here. Now, it may not look like we have 60 chickens in there, but one of the main things about that is the graphics aren't going to allow you to have 60 moving things in a small space like that. So we're going to go over to our grain silos. If you look at them, it's pretty interesting. They're quite large. I tried to look up and see how much it holds, but I couldn't really tell. Graphics in this, if you look in the window, it seems like there may be something in there, but you can't open up the door. Again, the grain silo has quite a few stairs. It seems like it's at least 5 stories tall. So let's see if we can climb this. It seems like there's a little bit of a jump, so maybe it won't. Oh, it will let you climb up. Let's make our way up to the top, see what's going on up here. Maybe we can get a good overview of the whole farm. So just so I could get a read on this farm, I did start a farm previously just to check out some of the equipment and to see if it's something I wanted to actually play, or at least spend any time on it. So looking down, you have your silos, different sizes, it seems. Our chicken coop, our house. Looks like we have a barn over here. I'm going to call that to the north of the farm. See a tractor down there. This looks like some kind of a pen for animals. So does that one. If you look here, looks like a horse barn. This looks like a place that you would put your manure from the pens. I believe you can make fertilizer in that area over time. This area looks like a silage area. Really haven't worked with silage at all. I believe that's something that you could do make fertilizer with. Not really sure how that works. And another barn. So let's look at our property real quick. See what we got. So it looks like we own this area here. Looks like we own 3 pieces of land. Anything to the... I guess this would be south on the map. I said north previously, but we'll call this south. We got plat number 39, which is 10 acres. Farmland 8, 17 acres. And the size of this one, it looks like, it says 47 acres. So since this is farmland number 1, it's given us the overall amount of acreage. So we also have some land right around the property we already own, so we'll probably have to buy that later. We'll check that out later. So this area here looks like, according to the map there, it's corn. This looks like wheat. Actually, no. I believe that's grass. And this large area here must be wheat. Let's go visit those places real quick. So farmland number 9 is wheat, and it looks like it's ready to harvest. Let's go over to number 1. 1 is corn. Corn is high, 0 fertilized, 37% yield bonus. Let's check out the next one. Visit that. This is farmland number 8. This also looks like wheat. Oh, I was just on that. Let's go to 39. That's the one we want to go to. Yeah, that's grass. This grass is also ready to be harvested. So we're possibly going to have to rent a vehicle. So let's see if we can skip over to that tractor that we saw out here. Actually, we'll run over there. So I'm going to keep some of the things a surprise for right now. So we'll try to quickly run around. And we know we have horses here. It's a nice looking barn. We'll go through that in a second. We'll try to skip over to the farm real quick. You can hear the horse neighing in the background there. If you look, I'm running as fast as I can. I try to be a little bit less monotone in this one. I have a very boring voice. So what we have here is a decent looking trailer. We're obviously going to need that to transport some of our crop. Ooh. So we have a header here, which you would use to harvest grain, stuff of that nature. It seems pretty large, so hopefully this property comes with a combine. So here we have an older John Deere. Right now I have no idea what this is for, but with it having a food mixer for your animals, I used to use that on cows. I'm assuming that has something to do with mixing your hay or whatnot. Let's walk over here real quick, see if we can get in this barn, see what we got going on in here. Nice big barn. Open it up. We do have a harvester. We have a combine and a tractor, so that's good. We have our corn header. Pretty large. So like I said before, we are going to be buying more property later, but starting out with 10, 17 acres properties, that's going to be easy to manage and give us time to possibly make some more money on helping other people out. So it seems like we have the equipment we need to cut our grass, bale it. Not sure. Yeah, this one does wrap. I forgot about that. I'd love to see one of these in person. Our mower. We have a 8R John Deere tractor. Let's get in there and check it out real quick. Like I said before, these computers don't work, but it does play well in the game. Makes it look real nice, real realistic. Doesn't look cartoony at all. Let's get over in our harvester. This is going to be a S7 900. Not really sure if you call it a 900 or a S7. Let's get up in here. Again, nice computer monitors. Something to play around with. Let's get out of here. Go check out the rest of the farm. So this is some kind of pen. And with this icon here, that means it's for milk collection. So this has to be a dairy farm. Let's go over here and see what we got. This animal icon or this paw icon tells us how many animals and what kind of animals we have. So it looks like we have brown Swiss cows. Now I've got 10 of those that are just born, 10 that are 6 months, 10 that are 18 months. I guess 18 months is puberty for these guys. I also have some Holstein cows, also good for dairy. It looks like I have 10 that are mature and 10 of the Swiss cows that are mature. So every once in a while, as long as I feed these bad boys, because right now, if you look at their health, it shows that they have no health, no food, they're producing no milk, and they're only eating from the meadow. So let's walk in here and see. You walk up to some of these guys, they do move. I don't know how affected they are by you, but they're not going to hurt you, cause you any problems. So this is manure here, I assume. We're going to have to clean that out and put it in that area that I was talking about earlier. Again, I have never had to deal with that. On a previous farm, it was pretty much automatic, so this will be a little bit more realistic. We'll get around to that. Looks like on this side we have some sheep, some goats. Yeah, thanks for announcing yourself. All right, let's go over here and see how many we have. We have 90 sheep in the barn. That would be sheep and goats. Mature goats, we have 10. Mature sheep, it looks like we have 10. And I guess we have different kinds of sheep. I guess that makes a difference on what kind of wool they produce. Don't really know what the goats produce. We'll check that out later. This is where you would drop off your food. Let's open this gate up. So better close that up before they get out. Really don't think these guys get out at all. So let's go over to the horses. Never had horses before. This is going to be a new experience for me. Let's go check this out. See how many horses we have. We have a total of 5. I'm not sure if these are the names of the horses. It seems like one is named Yesterday, one is Winston, one named Temper, one named Utara, and one Unsula. So let's check out the barn. These stables look pretty cool. I don't know if the horses go in them. Doors open up. Not sure if you lead the horses in or... it looks like we've got a little running area. I'd like to check that out with the horses. So the horses, I know you can get on and ride. So you'll do it just like a car. You walk up to a horse, it seems like this one's name is Unsula. Hop on horse. Looks like some kind of saddle. Gets on it real fast. And on PlayStation 5, you click the R2 button to make the horse go faster. And your brakes, just like a car on any PlayStation game, is going to be your L2. And your X, obviously, for hopping. And if you notice, near the horse, near the information, it tells you what percentage of riding you've done. Like I said, I've done no research on horses at all in this game. ridden a few horses in my day. That's something I really like to do, but of course that's something that's quite expensive. I used to ride horses on my grandfather's farm as a very small boy. Not something I've ever done consistently, but I know it's something I've enjoyed in the past. So if you notice, the riding goes up again, 45%. We're at 47. So while we're here, actually I don't know if I could let my horse go, so I was thinking about trying to get it up to 100% and see what happens, but that's something we can do later. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the farm. We're going over to this last barn. This area is, what I said, was for silage. That's where you take the grass, and I believe it comes over to this area. You scoop it up in a tractor, and it ferments. What that fermented grass is for right now, I really don't know. Again, I haven't done research. We're just all learning together in this one, so let's see what we have in this barn. Looks like we might have a little shop here. Right here is some kind of planter. Now there are planters, some that'll plant your stalks like corn. So we've got a nice little planter seeder there. And here it looks like we might have a combination of a seeder and cultivator. We'll have to look that up later and see exactly what it's for. Looks like all brand new equipment. Here we have a Case 2 tractor, 260. Never been in a tractor like this, but I'm kind of partial to John Deere. So we'll have to get rid of this, I believe. And it also seems as though we have an area that we can work on our vehicles. Normally you would have to take your vehicles to the same shop that you bought it from. But here, we can fix it up here. Might be able to paint it too, let me see. Should have the information for that tractor. Actually, it seems like anything you have parked in here. So you can paint it and fix it up. So that's convenient to have. So let's actually try to open up this garage door. It's not opening up. I wonder why. That's closing. Let's see if we can open this up. There we go. Sometimes you get excited and maybe hit the wrong button. So we're going to take the tractor out to check out some of our property. Now, Case has a good looking vehicle here. I'm still partial to John Deere. So we have a nice white fence. Reminds me of my grandfather's farm growing up. We'll talk about that some other time, but property looks real nice. I'll try to stay on the inside because it gets a little loud when you're outside with the engine. I could turn it down, which I probably should, especially if I'm going to make a video, but for now we'll keep it up. Consider that for a later one. So there's our grass to the right, our corn to the left here. I believe that's the only thing I have that's not ready to harvest. And then I get to use my combine on this wheat here. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll do that on the next one. For now, we'll just drive around this whole area, just so we can get a sense of how big it is. So these little areas here, I believe, sometimes flood. I'll hear farmers talk about having fuel tiles, things of that nature. Really don't know what that's about, but I believe it might keep some of your property from getting drenched. Oh, I don't want to run over that. Let's look at the damage I've done to this. If you notice here, I killed some of my stock, so your tractors will damage the crop, so try not to drive crazy like I just did. I can't remember if I don't want to go too far. I don't think that close to running over again. So that wheat that I was just looking at to our left here is not ours. Our wheat is right up here. So we might have to try to buy that property later. So, like I said, we're going to keep this video short. Just wanted to show you what we're going to be trying to get into in the next couple videos or so. I will see you on the next one.